All right. Hi, Ryan. Glad you can make it in. And Hollywood, yes, welcome. Thanks for hanging out. This is going to be a lot of fun here. Good evening, folks. Frank, KG6NLW here, coming to you live for the NorCal SwapNet. This is hosted every Thursday on the N6ICW Repeater system in the Northern California area. For more information, you can visit n6icw.org, and I will be dropping that in the chat here shortly. This is a directed net, so follow the protocol if you're nearby and in the area and can check in locally. Unfortunately, the internet links are down, so no Echo Link, no IRLP, none of that going on. I'll be here as long as net's running, usually from about 0400 UTC to 0500 UTC. I'll be in the chat ready to answer any questions you might have. You can also submit a listing via the chat. If you have a listing, let me switch over to the main screen here. If you have a listing, follow this protocol right there. Yeah, that protocol right there. Give me your name, call, location, items for buy, sale, or trade, and your contact info. It can be phone or email. Armand takes both. You put that in the chat, and I will be able to relay it into Armand. I will, once Armand gets started, I will have my microphone muted. Let me actually move this. I thought that was set up right, but yeah, I will be. Oh, there we go. I will have my mic muted, but I will be in the chat interacting. It will be lots of fun, and I welcome everybody to join in and have fun. There's the link for the N6ICW Repeater system. And let's see here. Oh, got through my preamble a few minutes early, so maybe I can starting this right at 8 o'clock, and we'll see what 8 p.m. Pacific and 0400 UTC and see what happens. But I want to, since we have a minute here, I'm going to go back over to the main screen. I want to thank all 1,635 of you that have subbed. I made my goal, 1,000 by New Year's Eve. I made the goal, folks. It happened. So I want to thank everybody for doing that, making that happen. Lots of fun. I have some great content lined up, ready to go for NorCal Swap in 2025. Yeah, I had to think about that for a second. 2025. Tomorrow at 5 Pacific. Thanks, Hollywood. Absolutely. Yeah. It went whoop, and now I've gone whoop. You know, it wasn't quite a heart rate going up and down, up and down. It was just straight up and flatlined. Tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific, 7 Central, 8 Eastern. Yeah, I did that right. Don't math on stream, even time. 7 Central. Ham radio, Q and AMA right here on this channel. I have a very special, quirky guest. Can anyone guess what the quirky guest might be? I have to say it one more time. That's twice. The quirky QRP will be here. James Hannibal will be with me as a guest, doing a Q&A MA tomorrow, 7 Central, 8 Eastern, right here on this channel. Jeez, I still have 30 seconds to kill. Yeah, I definitely can start this a little later. Happy New Year, Rolly. We got Poda Royalty in the house. Hi, Rolly. Good to see you in the chat there. By the way, Rolly, you and I need to get together. I'll send you an email. I'll send you an email again, get things worked out there. And with that, I'm going to switch back over to the N6ICW stream, and we're going to wait and see what happens here. And I suspect, I'm not going to say it, but I suspect things. And that mute button is hot on the mute button tonight. So, here we go.
To one and all on 195. The slate is wiped clean, and we start over at number 1 for the Northern California swap. Good evening to one and all. This is WB2ZEI, Whiskey Bravo 2 Zulu Echo India. Armand in the Arden Arcade area of Sacramento, welcoming everybody in for a new year of buy, sell, trade, giveaway, amateur and amateur-related equipment. And we're starting our 19th year here on N6ICW in probably about a week or so. Actually, officially, it would be the 6th of January back in 2006, but, well, maybe next Thursday. But the 6th is just around the corner. Anyway, it is the NorCal Swap, edition number 1 for the brand new year, and hopefully we will get more listings this year than last, so we'll get the net underway. It is N6ICW, of course, 147-195, the main repeater from high top Mount Vaca with a plus offset, and possibly 146.94 from Chico. Maybe we'll get an update or somebody will report on that. I did listen in on 94 to see if it was alive, but maybe somebody will tell us, and maybe they won't, so we'll have to find out. Also, 145.15 in the Reno Tahoe area. The 146.94 and the 145.15 repeaters also have a minus offset according to the ARRL band plan, and all repeaters in the system are accessible with a PL of 123, otherwise known as CTCSS. So, let's get the net underway. We invite all of you, as we always do, to check in, and we want to hear especially from people who might have a listing to get rid of some of that old equipment or what have you, or turn some of that amateur radio gear that's they're not being used into green, maybe to put towards something else in the new year. But that's up to you how you decide to do that. But we invite one and all of you to check in. It's really easy to do. When the net is open for listings, all you need to do is send out your call sign suffix, just the last part of your call phonetically. Use the phonetics. They're always helpful. Wait to be recognized. This is a directed net. And when I recognize you and ask you to proceed, whether you're making a listing or not, the first couple of ingredients we need from everybody. We need, of course, your full call sign, then your first name and your location. And if you have items to list for the swap net, you can mix and match, of course, for the best results. No limit on the number of items you can list. So buy, sell, trade, giveaway, all four, or however you want to play the game. Give us a description of the items that you're featuring, and so people know what we're talking about. There's a lot of equipment out there, and sometimes model numbers are just not enough. So especially for, all the folks who don't read all the catalogs and have been around for a long time. But give us a description of the items you have where applicable. And if you're selling something, of course, let us know how much you want for it. Let us know if it's best offer or negotiable or whatever, and the bottom line price. And also let us know if you will ship it. Some items are big and bulky. Folks don't want to ship them. Some are not. They are shippable, but that's all up to you. You decide. And you can also decide and let us know, do you want folks to stop by and pick it up, or are you willing to drive and meet them someplace, and how far, et cetera, et cetera. And of course, UPS and FedEx and the USPS are always waiting for your packages now that the Christmas holiday and more or less the holiday season is winding down. So you tell us what's the best for you. Also give us your contact information. That means cell phone and or landline phone and or email address. Whatever communication method works for you, we will take it. And then, of course, end your transmission with your call sign. And, of course, you know how it goes during the net. There are magic words that you can use to get things done. You can say contact. That'll allow you to do any one or all of three things. If you were listening to a listing and you'd like some more information on a piece of equipment, or you have a question for the person that's making the listing, just say contact followed by your call sign. We'll find out what it is you'd like to do, and then you can go ahead and do it. You can also call a station and move them off frequency if you want to chat on another part of the band, or you can call a station that you think might be listening here and communicate with them, maybe pass a quick bit of traffic or a message that does not have to be net related at all. So you can do any one of those three things. You can also say info followed by your call sign. If you missed something during a listing, you couldn't grab a pen fast enough or a keyboard or what have you, I write everything down or try to. So you can ask for a fill if you're missing some information, a telephone number, call sign, price, etc. I will try to give that to you. And if I can't, well, we'll have to turn to the person that made the listing. And of course, if you have a question concerning amateur radio, sometimes those questions spark a good conversation, and different people have different opinions and perspectives on different things, so sometimes it leads to a good conversation. So ask away. No question is too basic to answer if you need an answer to something. And while you're out and about, if you see something that needs the help and assistance of ham radio, that's what we do. So just say break or priority, followed by your call sign. We'll stop the net, find out what's going on, and how we or some of us can help. It's an important component of amateur radio. And of course, thank you to our own Chris, N6ICW, trustee, and Cindy, and Stacy, and the other kiddies, and his family had a great New Year and great holiday, just as I hope that all of you did out there. And we're starting out a brand new year, and who knows what 2025 will hold in store, but we just have to live every day and see what it brings. But thank you to Chris for keeping the repeater going as he always does, and keeping it maintained, and providing a lifeline of communication to all of us here in the valley, wherever we may be, up in the north end, in the south end, San Francisco, up in the Sierras. That's the big footprint of N6ICW, so thank you to Chris as well. And I think that about does it for the explanation, the housekeeping that we do every week. So let us open the listing portion of the net and see who's going to be with us on this very first Thursday of 2025. This is WB2ZEI, Whiskey Bravo 2, Zebra Echo India. Armand, I'm in the Arden Arcade area of Sacramento, and the net is now open.
November Lima Whiskey.
Golf India.
Alpha India.
Jack Daniel.
Yankee. Okay, I think I got all four of you in there, or five. Let's see if I can remember you all. So we'll find out how good or bad my memory is. KG6NLW in Cloverdale, Mr. Frank. How was your New Year's? I think you were in Barstow over New Year's or something. Working hard. Go ahead, Frank.
Good evening, Armand and Annette. Kilo Golf 6, November Lima Whiskey. And Happy New Year to everyone listening. There are currently 11 wonderful people watching online via YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok. So you are getting out to the interwebs tonight as well, Armand. One of them even being ZL1 Bravo Quebec Delta. Rolly, the POTA royalty from ZL in New Zealand, and a few others scattered here and there throughout the United States as well. Uh, so there you go. Not much else to report here. Yeah, Barstool was fun, but home for 48 hours, get stuff done, and continue on my way. With that, I'll let you get over to Gary, Al, John, and I think I heard WKY in there as well. Armand, back to you. Kilo Golf 6, November Lima Whiskey. Oh, and there might be a 1Q in there too.
I didn't hear the Q man just yet, but you're right. I think I did hear Jerry. Gary was in there. Al was Gary and John, Al and Jerry. No, Alice though. You remember Alice and Jerry? Anyway, but welcome to Rowley, and it's 5:10 p.m. in Auckland. So they're like 21 hours ahead of us. So Happy New Year to Rowley in New Zealand. And when I asked my little echo here, it said New Zealand had multiple time zones, so I don't know where Rowley is. But Happy New Year, Rowley, and you're probably one of the first to welcome in 2025, and it's probably January 3rd already where you are. But anyway, good evening and Happy New Year to all the folks out on the internet. Thank you for taking time out of your evening, morning, early morning, late afternoon to let us visit together here the first Thursday of the month. And thank you, Frank, for all you do. And so what were you working as the year turned, Frank, or were you settled down in Barstow after a trip?
I was actually about 20 minutes east of Barstool at the time of New Year's, and got to see all the fireworks across the valley. Absolutely, lots of fun there. And no, Rolly says only one time zone. It's Friday there.
Okay, well, gotta talk to Jeff Bezos there and get him to fix it. But the dot said multiple time zones, so we learn something every day. Thank you, Rolly. And yes, it's January 3rd. They're more in the future than we are. So thank you, Frank. And we'll look forward to having you with us many weeks out of the year here. KG6NLW, thank you. And we'll check in with Gary and see what he did or how he's doing in this new year. WA6FGI and the NorCal Swap WB2ZEI. Take it away, Gary.
Thank you, Armand. Whiskey Alpha 6 Foxtrot Golf India here. Glad to be able to check in on season 2025, episode 1 of the Swap Net. Nothing to list. I'm just going to listen on. It's just a habit. I don't mind keeping it all. It's interesting to hear what goes on to and fro. So, not going to gobble up a lot of time here. We'll get to Al next. Anyway, thanks for being here, and thanks for running as many years as you have. Whiskey Bravo 2 is ZEI, WA6FGI. That's in that.
All righty, great. Thanks, Gary. Appreciate that. And, well, the net wouldn't be here if it wasn't for all of you. So thank you for being part of the net and also the folks out on the internet as well, listening. And, if you want to make a comment or something like that, we could always use Frank as the medium and, engage his superpowers and if you want to contribute, you can type a message to him, and he can read it back here on the net. Let's check in with Al and see what exciting. So I'm not sure if John was next or Al was next. If they came in a flurry, but John, just a 2-minute warning to put down your glass of Jack Daniels. So we'll be we'll be coming to you after Mr. Al in Fair Oaks, K6AAI WB2ZEI.
Well, good evening, everybody. This is K6AAI Al in Fair Oaks. Not much to tell. Quiet New Year here to the firecrackers, which made the dog and the cat a little bit antsy, but they got used to it, so it wasn't too bad. And so we had a nice holiday season. Fortunately, good news, Jane's been feeling very well. She's just improving every day. Every day she gets stronger, and I measure it by, how many chores she does. So she's back to, feeding the cat and doing all those pre-illness, a lot of those pre-illness chores. So she's getting stronger. She's able to walk around, and she's driving now. She hadn't driven for 5 months to 6 months now. She doesn't have the energy to do it, to push the gas pedal. But she's driving, and so that's good. So she's turning the corner, as it were, on cancer, and it's been an unbelievably hard year for us. That's for sure. But we got through it. New year coming up, and hopefully it'll be better than the past year. Couldn't be any different. And other than that, wish everybody a happy and peaceful and prosperous, and of course, more than anything, healthy New Year. Back to you, Armand. This is K6AAI.
Yeah, likewise, Al, and same sentiments back to you and Jane, and hopefully with every passing day she'll get a little bit stronger, and eventually she'll just be able to kick your tail all around the house. So do you have any, I guess maybe not just yet, but any plans of maybe travel in the latter part of the year?
No, not right now. What we're looking at, we're just, we'll see how she feels. But we've been thinking about, we're going to have to travel differently. We're not going to cruise anymore because there's too much walking on a cruise all around the ship and stuff like that. We're going to fly to different cities and radiate from there through. There are a lot of tours and stuff like that. Any city you go to, take a city tour. You can book private tours. There's plenty of avenues for tourists. And so we're looking at. There's only 2 cities in the world I would go back to that I've visited to, and there's one I really haven't seen. So we're looking at going to London because we really never spent much time in London. But I would like to go back and spend another week or 10 days in Paris or in France. Paris is, if you've ever been to Paris, it's an amazing place. And so we're looking at that. And I would go back to Rome. And don't think we're going to do that this year. But Paris is possible. London would be possible. We've never really seen London. We were there for a couple of days on our 10th wedding anniversary, and we're coming up on our 44th. So that's the only travel we're kind of talking about. But it won't be, the kind of cruise we took a couple of years ago. We took a 30-day cruise, which cost us a fortune. And we won't be doing that again. We'll be flying to individual cities and radiating from there. It'll be less stressful for Jane. She can come down out of the hotel, get in the car, and someone will take us somewhere, whatever. We did that in France on our 10th anniversary, 25th anniversary, silver winter anniversary. We had put away money every year for 25 years with the idea that on our 25th anniversary, we'd blow it all in Paris. And as the years went by, we ended up with about $12,000 on our 25th anniversary, and we blew the whole thing on 2 weeks in Paris. Probably not the best financial decision I ever made, but we did. And we'd hired a guide, a woman, had a van, and that was her business. She took tourists, took people around for a week, and she picked us up at the hotel, and took us to Versailles, and took us to Giverny, took us up to the battlefields up in Normandy, and of course she escorted us around Paris, and it was really good. It was Jane booked her through the internet, and we're going to do that kind of thing again. So there you have it, Armand. Travel, maybe.
Yeah, those guides they're really good. We did that in a couple of cities on our honeymoon when we went to Europe, and we had the driver, and then you get to know them. We've done that in Hawaii. We've done that in London and other places, and it's amazing. You go to Europe, and there's just history all around you, and even got a chance to ride a little bit, although now it's a kind of a distant memory, the London Underground. So I think I'd rather ride the Underground than the subway these days. Anyway, sounds good, Al, and wish you all the best, and I'm sure, we'll be talking lots and lots during the year, as we hope to do with everybody. So thank you for that, and we'll see what if John is clinking his ice cubes and has got a free hand. KJ6JD, WB2ZEI. How you doing, John?
Oh, hell, we need a new barkeep here in the green room. I don't have ice cube. I don't even have a drink except water. I feel... Hey, cheers, though. Happy New Year. There's still an emergency bottle of Jack Daniels up on the shelf here in the shack. We got one of those little 1-ouncers like the airlines give you. Anyway, Happy New Year to all. And listening and hearing Al talk about Jane, I'm really glad to hear that progress is being made. And, give her my best. And it's a new year, and it's also a new month. And being a new month, you know what that means, don't you?
Yeah, it's time to chow down tomorrow at 11 a.m., right?
Well, maybe. Rumor has it. I'm supposed to get my truck back tomorrow morning early. And if that happens, then anyway, around 11-ish out there at, I blanked on it because I screwed it up last time. Brookfield. Brookfield's on Madison Avenue, just off of Interstate 80. Matter of fact, you get off there and it's in the first block after the exit. So don't miss it. And, we'll see how many of us make it out there tomorrow morning. If you're interested, feel free to give me a call and let me know. You can reach me at 916-616-9980 or back on this machine in a few minutes.
Yeah, all right. Well, either that or just show up and bring your appetite for some great conversation and camaraderie at Brookfield, 4343 Madison Avenue. Have breakfast, lunch, or whatever you like, and get to know some of the folks from the area, local hams, and people who frequent N6ICW. Start the new year off maybe with mimosa, something like that. I don't know if they do that at Brookfield. Maybe not. Maybe hot chocolate or something, But bring your appetite, and I hope your truck's okay, John, and maybe just getting worked on. So hopefully you'll get it back and be able to be out there tomorrow, and maybe Walt will be there, and Margaret as well, his wife, and we'll find out. We'll get the report next Thursday from John. Thank you, John, and Eat hearty tomorrow. KJ6JD, WP2ZEI.
Yeah, you don't want to oversell this thing. We'll be lucky if we get Margaret and Walt and me and Tim out there. If anybody else wants to come on out, please. This thing's been dwindling for a while now. We could use a few new faces to pick on out there on a Friday morning. Anyway, that's about all I got in the way of announcements, and I'll get out of here and make way for the new 2025 WalkNet. Thank you for the green room. KJ6JD.
If anyone's watching from Sacramento, go out to Brookfield, 4343 Madison Avenue.
Weather after the rain comes and goes this weekend. I've been getting reports that it's going to be up in the 60s next week. So that'll dry up all the mud in my backyard, maybe, with a lot of sunshine. And we're going to check in with Jerry next, KJ6JD, WB2ZEI, and I think that was Jerry, KD6WKY. Jerry, go ahead.
Well, hi, Armand. Happy New Year to you and everybody listening on the net and over the internet, the interweb, as they say. Okay. Doing just fine over here on January 2. And I have a listing for you, Armand. How about that? So get your pencil ready. And we'll go back and forth a few times on some of the information. So what I'm going to list is something I've never used, but I've had it in the closet, and somebody can use it. It's the Ameritron QSK5 Transmit Receive Switch. It's used in conjunction with an amplifier for CW, high-speed CW, and it eliminates all the switching clacking on your amplifier, and it also preserves it. So it says here that the QSK5 is 6 times faster than typical mechanical vacuum relay QSK switch, and so on. And so that's what I'm going to list here. It's $50, and I'll let you process that, and you can ask me a couple more questions about it, and I'll give you my contact information.
For those that have CW and amps, that's a good deal.
For all those CW aficionados, that brings to mind a YouTube video that Margaret's friend sent to us. It was really interesting since, all the ham radio guys and gals have an affinity for CW. I guess there is a worldwide Morse code championship, and a lot of the teams from various countries go and they practice, and then they have a competition. And they didn't play any of the CW, or they might have played a tiny little bit, but it just sounded like a data burst. And some of these folks, like from Russia, and I think maybe some of the European countries, and maybe Africa, were able to copy that CW. And I don't know how many words per minute it was, but it was just like really high-speed CW. So for all those folks who are struggling at 5 words a minute, it's kind of a neat video to watch. It was a report done by a BBC reporter, so that it was really neat to watch that. So much for CW, and I got all that written down, Jerry. So, and give me your phone number again.
Okay, well, very good. My phone number, we're going to give you my cell phone because somebody may want a picture of it or serial number and all that. It's easier to go back and forth with that type of technology. My cell phone number is area code 707-460-7601. 707-460-7601. My email address is my call sign, KD6WKY, at arrl.net, and I'll ship it via postal service priority mail. That's another $20, but I'm happy to do that as well. So I think it's for the right person who likes high-speed CW. I like CW. I'm good up to 30 words a minute in a contest when I'm warmed up. But just to rag chew that fast, I slow down a little bit, probably closer to 20, 22 words a minute when I'm having back and forth conversation. So, but in a contest, crank it up. So yeah, I think this could be just for the right person, just what you need. MFJ website's listing a new one, which they don't make them, or maybe they don't make them, or it says they're sold out, or maybe now these days they make them one at a time as you order them. But the listing on the current one is $379.95. I'd call them if you were going to buy a new one, because this may just be for informational purposes. I'm not sure. But here we go. Ameritron QSK5, $50 and plus shipping.
You got trouble? Jerry, got it. Number one tonight, starting off the new year, Kilo Delta 6 Whiskey Kilo Yankee, KD6WKY, Jerry, and Vacaville has something for your CW aficionados. This is an Ameritron QSK, Quebec Sierra Kilo, QSK 5 transmit receive switch that's used with an amplifier. And Jerry says it's for high-speed CW operators, and the literature says it's about 6 times faster than vacuum relay. He will ship this item for an extra $20, the USPS priority mail, and he's asking $50 for the Ameritron QSK5. And you can get a hold of Jerry. He can send you some pictures if you need it, or you can read about it on the MFJ website. Of course, I'm not sure what the status of MFJ is. Of course, we know that they kind of closed up sometime last year, so this may be a last opportunity to get it. Jerry has this. He's never used it. So you can talk to Jerry about it on his cell phone, and he can also send you pictures via that method. 707-460-7601. 707-460-7601. Or if you'd like to communicate by email, Kilo Delta 6 Whiskey Kilo Yankee at arrl.net. Thanks, Jerry.
Well, it's my pleasure. And everybody, I'm here if you need to talk to me. I'm just doing some other things. I'll be listening. And continue on. 86WKY.
All right, wonderful. We opened up a new year with at least one listing, so that's maybe a harbinger of good things to come. Anybody else for the net tonight, with or without a listing? WB2ZEI.
Mike.
Yeah, Big Tony, how you doing? I heard you on a 40-meter swap looking for, now that I forgot what it was, I think a microphone for the DR7. How you doing, Tony? How was your New Year's? And I think you were to do some camping or doing something over the Christmas holiday.
WB2ZEI and the NorCal swap in 5DIM. We had a good holiday. We didn't go out of town like we normally do, but next year we'll see what's happening. And yeah, I was looking for a Drake mic at the time, but I ended up taking a MC50 cartridge and putting in the one I was looking. I had a Drake 7077, and getting some real great audio reports out of that. Armand, I do have a listing for you tonight.
Double jackpot. Okay, got you written down, Tony. What you got today?
I would like to list a Kenwood R2000 communications receiver. It does AM, FM, sideband upper and lower, CW. I would rate it 8 out of 10, maybe a little higher. It's really clean. The plus with this one is it has the VHF converter with it. So it also does 118 to 174 megs. So you can listen to 2 meters, fire department, weather freaks, that kind of stuff. And I would like 225 or best offer. And I see on eBay the ones that have the VHF converter with them, they're wanting double that. So I think 225 or best offer. I don't want to ship it. You can come here and check it out, or I can bring it to you and you can check it out on your bench. I'll deliver it in the greater Sacramento area, save you some fuel. Phone number is 916-947-6005.
All right, Tony, sounds like a good deal. It's always fun to have a receiver like that. And that starts at like what is the HF coverage? 1.8 to 30, and then with the converter, 118 to 174, Tony?
For the HF side, it starts off at 100 hertz. It runs up to 10 meters to 30 megs. So it starts off well below the AM broadcast freaks. I don't know what they call that. I don't know if that would be medium wave or what, but it goes below the regular AM 580 or 680. It's a pretty hot little receiver. I mean, it's good, but it's got too much stuff. It's time to let somebody else play with it.
Yeah, we all got lots of stuff, and then we keep getting more stuff. But that's fun, you know, to have something, play with it, and then move it along and get something else. Okay, thank you, Tony. I got all of that. Let's see, let me go back here. And so number 2 is Tony, November 5, Delta India Mike. Tony's in Sacramento, and he has a Kenwood R2000 communications receiver up for offer tonight. Covers 100 hertz to 30 megahertz, and this one also comes with a VHF converter in it. That'll cover 118 to 174. That'll do AM, FM, single sideband, you know, upper and lower, CW. And Tony says it's very clean, probably 8 out of 10. And let's see, it does have the VHF converter in it. And he'd like $225 or best offer on this. And of course, the folks on eBay, they're always very optimistic. They love to hike the prices. So he says, if you look on eBay, they're double that. So if you're looking for a little communications receiver to play with, sounds like the one for you. You can contact Tony, and 225 or best offer. That's I forgot to say that. And you can come pick it up, or he'll deliver it in the greater Sacramento area. Does not want to ship it. But talk to Tony about it if you're looking for a receiver. 916-947-6005. Again, 916-947-6005. N5CIM. Thanks, Tony. WB2ZAI.
Armand, thank you, brother, and Happy New Year, and I appreciate you running the swap. Everybody on the frequency have a great New Year. N5DIM clear.
All righty, Tony. Of course, great signal, great audio as usual, and hopefully we'll see you in a couple of the swaps this year. Get to shake your hand again. Problem is, you know, at a swap, you know, people are always on the run, so you don't really get to sit down and or spend a lot of time with a lot of folks, but it's always great to see everybody out at the swaps. And, yep, they'll be coming up soon, a couple of months. Probably, what is it, the one down in Orlando or in Florida, the staycation, they call it. I'm not sure of the dates, but of course, with the new year comes the Consumer Electronics Show and the staycation, and we start the cycle all over again. Thanks, Tony. Anybody else for the net tonight? Listings, a great start for the new year. Anybody else?
It's Hamcation, Armand, and it's February 7th through the 9th in Orlando, Florida. More information can be found at hamcation.com.
Oh, yes, you're right. It is Hamcation. I don't know. I'm thinking of those people that want to stay home all the time. That's a staycation. But we like Hamcations better than that. That's usually a pretty big festivity that goes on. Thank you, Frank. Holding up the research, development, and info department of the NorCal Swap. Thank you, Frank.
Oh, of course. And, we have something a little closer right before that. Quartz Fest is coming up very quickly here, January 19th to the 25th.
Okay, I forgot all about Quartz Fest over in Arizona. Any info on that?
Yeah, it's January 19th to 25th, as usual. Let's see here. They're going to have the special event station, Whiskey 7 Quebec, as they usually do. Ham radio testing, off-road adventure, the ARRL forum, an instructor seminar, the Young Ladies Radio League on Thursday, a fox hunt, Ham Radio Olympics, happy hour, and they're planning to work the space station repeater, and Gordon West, and a near space balloon launch Saturday morning at the south edge of camp. So there's going to be a lot of fun activities there. For more information, quartzfest.org.
Okay, and is that in Quartzsite in Arizona?
Yeah, just south of Quartzsite. It's still technically in Quartzsite, but it's just south of the actual city.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, well, it should be a little warmer down there. So if you don't like the cool temperatures in Sacktown, it sounds like a full week. Yeah, you can, live ham radio all week long. So sounds like a lot of fun. Thank you, Frank, for bringing that to our attention. I forgot all about that one.
Upper 60s, low 70s. 67 on the first day and 70 on the last day, with everything in between throughout the week.
There you go. Frank's the guy with all the info. Ask him a question, and he'll pop you the answer real quick. Thank you, Frank. Appreciate that. KG6NLW, WB2ZEI. Anybody else for the net tonight? Major. Here we go. We don't need. So, any other civilized people for the net tonight? Well, it looks like it's 0444. So usually we try to stick around till 0445. So we're just about there. And glad that we got two listings from Jerry and Tony tonight. Also remind you about, since it's the new year, remind you about some of the other swap nets that take place on the HF band. one net that takes place during the week, 5 days a week at 11:30 local Pacific time on 7235 is run by Brian W6BDW, Whiskey 6 Bucket of Dirty Worms, as he likes to say. And that is a rag, chew, and swap net that Brian has been running for so many years. And the good thing about that net, besides all the great people that are there, is if you make a swap listing on that net, which you can do on Tuesdays and Thursdays at any time, or Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, after the list is read back around noontime, the listing will run for the current month all the way to the end of the following month. That means if you list tomorrow, your listing will run all the way till the end of February, and February ends on a Friday. And so there you go. You get a lot of bang for your buck. Also, the net has a website that they upload the listings to twice a month to keep it updated. It is November Alpha 6 Romeo NA6R.com. So again, 11:30 Monday through Friday at 7235, and if you don't have any equipment or antennas to get on 40 meters, and you are a licensed ham, of course, you can always send Brian an email, W6BDW, W6 Bravo Delta Whiskey at ARRL.net, and put swap listing in your subject line. And, follow this kind of the standard format that a lot of the swap nets follow. That's, call sign, name, location, list whether it's buy, sell, trade, give a little information, your price, and your contact information. Brian will read those on the air and put them in rotation. So runs for the current month plus the following month as well. So that's a good place to list. A lot of people listen and also look on the internet at na6r.com. And of course, we can't forget about the West Coast Swap Service that runs on the weekends with various net controls at 7240 kilohertz on 40 meters. Starts at 12:30. They take listings until 2 o'clock. And on Saturday, of course, the list that's compiled for Saturday is read back. And on Sunday, they compile a list on Sundays, and lists for both days, Saturday and Sunday, are read back right around 2 o'clock. And AI6U, Chris in Sacramento, is net control. Dennis, KB6 Lima Zulu Whiskey from Fort Bragg, is also one of the long-standing net controls. And Larry from Occidental, W6WUH, is there to take your listing as well. And again, if you can't make it or don't have equipment for the low bands, you can send a listing to Dennis, Kilo Bravo 6 Lima Zulu Whiskey, and you can either look him up on QRZ, or his email address is kb6lzw at protonmail.com, PROTON, like protons and neutrons, like we learned in junior high or high school physics, protonmail.com, and he'll get it read on the for you. And weekend that you want to list, you probably have to send Dennis another email. The listings are only good for one weekend. Likewise, if you check in on the radio, that's 7240. So whenever you want to list, you can do that once each weekend. A 5-item listing limitation. And if you list on Saturday, you don't have to list on Sunday because Saturday's list, of course, is read back at 2 o'clock. So there you go. Some ways to either get or move some equipment on for the coming year. And with that, we'll take another standby, see if anybody else wants to participate in edition number 1 for 2025, January 2nd on the NorCal Swap. Anybody else for the net? All right, there's the Q man, and Rick with the stick. He's there too. KM6ZRO. How you doing, Rick? How was your New Year?
It was uneventful and great. Hope yours was good as well. I'm trying to. Frank was suggesting last week or the week before, I forget now, that I back away from the mic a little bit. So I'm hoping this sounds all right anyway.
Oh yeah, you sound.
Stop it, people. I know you're watching.
Yes, it does sound better. So, good for you. Yep, uneventful here. We stayed home with kitty cats, watched the TV, and all that kind of good stuff. Listened to the fireworks outside. And we're off to another start here, Rick. Go ahead.
I wanted to wish you, and of course, Vanette as well, Happy New Year. Anyway, I guess for me, the thing I'm going to work on the most for, certainly for this year, is upgrading my license, but we'll certainly see how that goes.
Hey. It's waiting for you. So good luck with that, and look forward to hear about your progress. Thank you, Rick. KM6ZRO. Zebras rolling over. How about that? That's a good one. I just thought of that. Let's swing it over to the Q-Man. WUNQ. And what kind of exciting things did you do, Mitch, on New Year's Eve and day? WB2ZEI. Go ahead.
Hey, Armand.
Yeah, good. And hey, Armand and everybody out there in the N6ICW footprint, shortwave listeners alike, and all, hey, Happy New Year's. It's beginning of a new year, kind of like a butterfly has a metamorphosis. Your opportunity is now to change the things that you didn't like before. So that's for some who do. Anyway, Armand, it's been a long time. I haven't talked to you since last year. And as to your answer to your question, well, being Marlowe kind of hung low. It was a low energy evening. A little bit of boob tube watched across the globe as everybody ushered in the new year, and including multiple hams on multiple bands, and it was really exciting to hear. I'm watching Frankie over there, KG6NLW.com, everybody. Had a lot of questions asked of him and his resources out there, and so trying to get as many people as I can get pointed that way, because on the platforms that I hang out on, there's multiple questions, and I don't know how to answer them. Guys like Frank, again, KG6NLW.com, and you go. He's got question and answers, and he's got more answers than I got questions. So anyway, hey Armand, what did you do for New Year's Eve? What did you and your lovely lady do? WUNQ. Back to the news desk.
Yeah, actually, we did watch a movie that we've seen before, but haven't seen it in a couple of years. It's called Holiday. It's about two ladies and their significant others, etc. They trade houses. One lady from L.A. goes to England, and the lady in England, they trade houses, and she comes to L.A. It's kind of it's a sweet movie, and it's kind of a little tradition in our family. My niece loves that movie, and sort of like it's a Wonderful Life. You can watch that over and over again and still enjoy it. So maybe that's a Christmas classic. So it was fun. We did that and stayed with the cats, made sure they didn't get all upset. They don't like the fireworks, and so they don't know what's going to happen to them. They don't know that they can't get hurt. So, but those little kitties for you. As you know, this is a cat-centric net. We always talk about the kitties. So that's what we did. Yeah, not no going out, and of course, it's really a shame to start out the new year with what happened in New Orleans and also Las Vegas. I guess that stuff never stops. But only 18 more days to go, and maybe then some conditions will change on the 20th. So that'll be a big day. So that's what we did, Mitch.
Contact.
That's right.
I just want to jump in here real quick. Rick, if you're still listening, if you look up my call sign on YouTube and go to about 55 minutes in, you'll hear exactly how you sound coming out to Cloverdale on the repeater. So, Rick, if you're still listening, my call sign on YouTube, you'll be able to hear it if you skipped about 55 minutes in. This is Kilo Golf 6 November Lima Whiskey.
Well, I think Rick sounds a lot better. Not that he sounded horrible, but still good audio. So him and Tony's audio are pretty similar. Nice, bodacious, nice audio. Good, Mitch.
Yeah, Frankie, good man for doing that, because part of what we do, Armand, as ham operators and enthusiasts and experimenters, is we help each other out, because the reason we do this is because someone may not sound as good as everybody else thinks they should. That guy's always nice and loud, but yeah, good for you guys for dialing them up, and that's part of what we do for sure. And so yeah, my hat's off to you. Part of ham radio and what we do, and that's how we get things done. Solutions to our problems. Armand, I'm going to address what you had mentioned. 2025 here, the second day of that. Good things are definitely coming, and I don't think they all come in the complete form of the 20th. Although I would say 2/3 of this country, in some parts of the world, would say, "No, Mitch, you're wrong. That is it." And but I'm not going to argue with that. What I would say is that as human beings and as ham operators, enthusiasts who purchase and look into books and study to get a license to come out here and play ham radio, whether you're an experimenter, you provide public service, you like to tinker, you like to tear things apart and put it back together, even though they may not ever work again, the deal is that we all have an opportunity to take, it's kind of like, when you, at work, you get a, what do they give you, a review. You review yourself, is self-reflection on the last year and how we could better ourselves as hams. All I want to say, Armand, is that, I look forward to meeting a bunch of new hams, because I understand there's tons and tons getting licensed every day and upgraded and everything else. And I do want to just mention one last thing, though. I would absolutely implore any new ham operators to go seek out a club and a fellowship to show you the way. Some have come into this the wrong way and and it's I'm not going to go any further than that. But I love my hobby. And by the way, the thunderclouds once again over Clayton, California. Back to you, Armand, in the desk, and happy New Year's, everybody.
Yeah, very good. And there's one problem that we wish would go away. You know what I mean, Mitch. So I'm glad you had a good New Year's, and look forward to 2025, and maybe I'll get a chance to shake your hand one time this coming year and see you not mano a mano, hand to hand, but face to face, to shake your hand. So very good. Thank you for stopping by, Mitch, and look forward to talking to you many more times in the coming year as everybody else. So I'll take one more standby, see if there's any latecomers or newcomers that want to join us. If not, I will read the nice two listings that we have, and we'll put this one in the history file. Anybody else for the Northern California Swap, edition number 1 for January 2nd, WB2ZEI with the NorCal Swap.
Hey, Armand, you might have someone coming in from Antioch that's legitimate. So maybe give it a second or two if you can.
Oh, sure. Of course. Speaking of Antioch, that reminds me of the Antioch Broadcasting Network. If you are a fan of old-time radio, look up Antioch OTR on the internet. They play lots and lots and lots of radio dramas all day and all night long, and it's called the Antioch Broadcasting Network. And they're always fun to listen to. And they play various genres of radio dramas like crime or detective shows, all the golden age of radio stuff. There's so much of that out there now. It's great that the internet revived all that. In the 70s and 80s, you were lucky if everybody would collect them off the radio, but now there's, they're running 24 hours a day, so it's always fun to listen to those old broadcasts. So that's Antioch. But anybody in Antioch wants to check in, we'll take another standby.
He says don't wait for him. He can't program the radio that fast, but he'll catch us on the next one.
Okay, must be a Bofang or a Chinese radio. But maybe not. All right, one more call. Anybody else for the first edition of the NorCal Swap for the new year? Anybody else to join us?
Hey, Whiskey Bravo 6, Bravo India Tango in Clarksburg, Richard.
Yeah, hi, Rich. Richard, good to hear you. I haven't heard you for a while. WB6BIT, how you doing? Happy holiday, Merry Christmas. Happy New Year to you. Good to hear you.
Hey, well, happy holidays to everybody out there. I regret not being on the radio. I've been real busy and don't get out to the shack enough. But I was passing through, and I heard you guys on ICW, and I had to check in.
Good. I'm glad you did, Rich. It's always good to hear you from Clarksburg, and like we always say, that's the great thing about amateur radio. When there's room for it, you let it in, and when there's not, you just put it, over on the side and look at it once in a while, and then when you have time and no commitments, it's always fun to catch up with friends. How was How was your Christmas and the New Year's, Rich?
Oh, as always, it went real fast, and it seems like we just put the tree up, and we're talking about taking it down now. So, I apologize for not being around more. This is a great hobby, and this is a great little net.
Well, of course, that's what you do. All of you make the net, really. So it's good to have you back, and no apologies necessary. Life goes on. Life goes on, and there are lots of things to do in life besides and with ham radio. So good to hear you, Rich. WB6BIT. Happy New Year to you and your family. WB2ZEI.
Hey, thanks for letting me check in, and I have absolutely nothing to sell, nothing to give away. I'm not looking for anything, but I'll try to be back sometime in the next couple months with at least one of the aforementioned. WB6BIT.
Yeah, sure, whatever you can, and even if you don't, just stop by when time permits, your schedule permits, and say hi. So very good. Good to hear you, Rich. And Happy New Year to all of you on the other side of the river. All right, last call. Anybody else to join us tonight? All right, I will then commence the reading of the two listings that we took, and hopefully we'll get some more during the year. Number 1 tonight, Kilo Delta 6 Whiskey Kilo Yankee, KD6WKY. Jerry is in Vacaville, and I'm just going to correct this little spelling mistake. So Jerry's in Vacaville, but Jerry is offering by Ameritron. It's called a QSK5, Quebec Sierra Kilo 5. This is a transmit receive switch that's used with an amplifier on high-speed CW. I guess it prevents the clatter of the relays in your amplifier. I'm not sure how it works, but Jerry tells us it's for high-speed CW, and the literature says it's about 6 times faster than a vacuum relay. And he will ship this item, USPS priority, for $20. That's in the shipping. And he would like $50 for the QSK5 itself. And you can contact Jerry and discuss that. His cell phone number, because if you use cell phone, that way you can ask him to take a picture of it. It's 707-460-7601. Again, 707-460-7601. And with MFJ kind of ratcheting down, I don't know if these are being made or if they're being made on a piece-by-piece as ordered process or not, but there it is, QSK5 if you should need one. You can also communicate with Jerry at his email address, Kilo Delta 6 Whiskey Kilo Yankee at ARRL.net. And 2 tonight, good friend Tony, November 5 Delta India Mike from South Sacramento. Tony has a communications receiver for a sale tonight. It's the Kenwood R2000 communications receiver. Covers 100 hertz through 30 megahertz. Also, this receiver comes with a VHF converter, which adds 118 to 174 piece of the spectrum. So you have aviation and commercial, marine, and the weather stations and railroads, all that kind of stuff in that spectrum. And it'll copy AM, FM, single sideband and CW. Tony says it's about 8 out of 10. It's very clean. And again, with the VHF converter. And let's see, you would like $225 or best offer, $225 OBO. And you can either come by and pick it up from Tony's house, or he will deliver it in the greater Sacramento area. You can take a look at it. And you can talk to Tony, 916-947-6005. Again, 917-947-6005. And so we started off the new year with 2 listings. Hopefully the numbers will go up from there, but we'll find out as we open up each net in the coming 51. It's going to be less this year, 2025, because Christmas comes on a Thursday, New Year's Day comes on a Thursday, and of course, so does Thanksgiving. So we'll see how things go over the year. But we're out here starting a new year off. So if anybody else have any other traffic or comments for the net before we go. Right, it's all quiet on the western front. Everybody get out and enjoy the weather next week. Here it's supposed to be in the 60s, but keep dry and be safe. If you're going up into the Sierras, they're supposed to be getting some more snow, of course. That's what happens every year. So we'll see everybody next week on the 9th of January for, of course, edition number 2. So until next Thursday, everybody take care. We'll see you back here on N6ICW 0400 on Thursday the 9th. N6ICW and others, WB2ZEI, clear and closing the NorCal swamp. We'll estimate 0513 UTC. Good night, all. See you next week, WB2ZEI.
You nailed it, 0513 exactly as you finished the EI of your call. Good night from YouTube and social media land, Armand.
Yes, of course. Good night to all the folks on the internet. Thanks for being part of it, and thank you for Frank for getting us exposed on the internet. Let's see you guys next week.
And with that, folks, I want to thank everyone who participated. I will say this, if you're new here and don't know what's going on, we do have some malicious QR Mary going on at times, but we just, it's using Bofangs or Quashangs or something like that, little dinky 5-watt HTs that most of us can out-capture, and that's just going to be the way it is. So at times, if the radio audio just disappears from the stream, that's what's happening, is I'm self-muting the radio side of things so that it doesn't come across and I don't get in trouble with YouTube or Twitch or anywhere else that I'm streaming. With that, Happy New Year. Yes, Rolly. Happy New Year. Cheers and 73 to you down there in New Zealand. POTA royalty. Tim, we got to talk about POTA royalty later. I think that's going to become the next woohoo, right? With that, I want to say Happy New Year to everybody. Thanks for getting me over the 1,000 mark before New Year's. I will be back out here tomorrow at 7 Central for Q&AMA. That's Question and Ask Me Anything with a special guest, Corky QRP, James Hannibal. Until next time, 73 and POTA on, y'all.